Hey guys, I'm back on Lois again to bring you another commentary. This time it is about shopping in the full district. Now, my gags are much better than the last time you saw me, so I get an invite pretty easily. Just walk right in, get an invite, here in just a second. The group's up at the elevator, I don't know why, but I accept it. I'm paying attention to the side, no one's saying anything about shopping. It appears just to be a random group. As you see, my gags are much better than they used to be. My drop still sucks, but I'm working on it. So we go on in, and everyone's nice and friendly in the elevator. Everyone says hi, hey, how you doing? Kind of normal stuff. No one declares no shopping, but you don't have to do that in the full district. It's a random VP run. It's expected to be no shopping. If you want to shop, you need to go to a different district with your friends. And as you can see, someone's already shopped. I'd have to say probably 4 out of 5 of my VPs in the full district have at least one shopper, but usually more, and it's infuriating. It's always the level 50 Hollywoods too, which gives my level 50 Hollywoods a bad rap because they won't take me. Groups won't take me because I'm a 50 and I must be shopping, and it's just infuriating. But as you can see, the one person leaves and it creates mass panic. That's usually what happens. One person leaves, so everyone runs. What I didn't understand about this specifically was it was Professor Pete, and that's one of the Elite 8, so I don't understand leaving on a Professor Pete, but whatever. I guess they couldn't find friends to shop for anything but Pete. But yeah, so my side has 3 people right here. We do okay, I guess. We don't do too bad. Now this first round, they use a cream pie, and there's really not much I can do with that, so I have to use a birthday cake. Definitely wishing I had a max piano at this point, but I'm working on it. This mouse passes, which freaks me out. I'm convinced that she's shopped and it's just lagging and she hasn't left yet. But she says she's still here, and she does stick out to the end, so that's cool. But like I said, this round itself didn't go too bad. It would be a lot easier had we had the 4 people with the 1 extra bigger toon. But it's okay, we did fine. So I'm going to go ahead and speed it up. But as you can see, we did just fine. Now, more often than not, I go sad because people shop. Even when I'm not on my Ubers, I end up having to use a lot of Unites, a lot of SOS cards, and I have to try really hard to keep my teammates alive because half the group shopped. And while a lot of people might not like to hear that shopping is the same thing as greening, that's exactly what you're doing. This game is meant to be a game for teamwork. When you go into the VP, you're going in with this group and you're going to fight the VP together with this group. It's not supposed to be about going in and seeing, oh, I don't like that reward, I'm just going to leave and ditch all these people and, sucks to be them, hope they can make it. Good luck, guys. That's incredibly rude. The whole point of this game is to work together as a team, as all 8 of you, or all 7 of you, or however many went in together, and fight it together. Because if your team wanted to do a 7-man, they wouldn't have taken you in the first place. They went in with 8 because they wanted to do an 8-man, not because they wanted you to leave if you saw it was Professor Pete or whatever. But here in this particular VP, up until this point, I had been running on the assumption that it was 7 people in the VP. But at this point, these 2 people start screaming over on the other side, and Miss Hula Swirl screams she's all alone. I didn't actually catch that when I was in the VP, so I'm asking her, "It's just you over there?" Because I got a little confused, like, what's going on? And she screams, "Yes, it's just her." Or this mouse tells me, actually, I guess. Yeah, there she goes. She tells me it's just her. So we finish up as quickly as we can because no idea what's going on. I didn't know if they'd all shopped, if they all went sad, what's going on. I think a couple of them shopped, and then this second person that was left with her went sad, and then it was just her. So we sound the cogs away pretty quickly, get them out of the way, and go over and help her. Now, the whole reason I had been recording this VP in the first place was my VP before this one, I had gone in with someone who actually saw my last video. He had commented about how he saw my Greeners video on YouTube that day and thought it was so cool, so he's, going on and on about all that. He went in and then he decided he didn't like the SOS card, said, "Sorry, YouTuber, I have to bail on you," and left. I went sad because of it, because 2 of our teammates died, and it ended up being 5 of us left. And I was on the side with 2, and we were unable to do it ourselves, because I'm lureless. When you're lureless, actually no, I ended up being alone. That's what it was. I ended up being alone, because my teammate on the side with 2 left, because he's like, screw this, 37 laughter, I'm not doing this. And so I ended up being alone, and I'm lureless, and no matter how many besties I used, I couldn't keep the 12s away. So I went sad, so I did another VP and started recording it in hopes that I'd be able to catch this the next time it happens, and lo and behold, my next VP was with shoppers. So we're finally done with our cogs. We run over to help Miss Hula Swirl, and as it turns out, she has 67 laugh points, I believe. She's a little thing, and I'm amazed that she stuck it out so long. She has 67 laugh points, and she's down to 5. After they juggle her around a bit, they tune her up finally. And we decide to stick it out. So even though there's me, who's lureless, and I'm not knocking lureless tunes at all. I've had a lureless tune in the past, and I have one in the works. But being lureless and being an Uber is incredibly hard to solo a side, or to be the main support on a side. And that's just facts, because it's hard to sound cogs with 2 tunes, and then it's hard to do this as the tune that has to lure. So I get sided with the 75, and I forget her name. I think her name was actually Miss Skinny Flower Sticks, yeah. And this first round is a mess because I don't have lure, and she's just caking, because why not? And so I just cake as well, because I've basically come to the conclusion at this point that we're going to die, and wasting my SOS cards is not going to help at all. But so I stick it out this one round, and I also forgot my cake was organic there for a second. It was not organic because my trees had died. But so we survived this round, and the next round I ask her lure, and she does. And well, she says she doesn't have lure, so I call a tunes miss, and then she's like, oh wait, I do have lure. Whatever. Cogs miss. So I do that. Hope we're gonna stick it out and win. The lure misses anyway, which, fine. I ask her to hit the 12, and I call a Bessie. At this point, I just decide to Bessie my way out of it. That's the best thing about having drop on an Uber, is your Bessie always hits, and it's magnificent. And she leaves. I don't understand at all why she left at this point, because I just used a Bessie. We were going to win this thing, and she left. Don't get it at all. So I have 17 laugh points, and this 12 attacks me, and I die. So now I'm dead. And if you think I'm exaggerating about how many people are actually shopping in the full district, I've recorded every single one of my VPs over the past 2 days, and I've done a lot because I'm running 4 tunes right now, and I think I did 3 different levels. So I did a lot of VPs. And here's my very next VP, avenging my death, my 2 deaths now in a row. Walk in, no one says anything about shopping. We're not shopping. There's some pretty awful gags in here, but you take what you can get sometimes. It takes us a minute or two to get a group, but that's okay. That's how it works sometimes. But we do eventually get a group, and I speed it up here a bit. More people come in. They are selecting around people. You can't have too many of these little bitty guys in the group, otherwise you're doomed to begin with from the start. But we have a good mix of tunes here. So we hit go, and in the elevator, nothing really seems to go wrong. Someone declares that it's Mo, which that's another one of my peeves, is when someone calls what it is in the elevator and it's a random run, because that just encourages people to run early. I don't even check to see what the SOS card is, because I don't really care. And it annoys me. It annoys me that other people call it out, because it just encourages people to run. And if you're wondering, the texture pack I am currently using is Toontown After Dusk by Ugly Corny, I believe. So that's what that is. I was just playing around with content packs at this point. So we go in, they're like, is it Mo? Is it Mo? No, it's Sid. Sid's a great card. He is a 50 damage foghorn. Very helpful when you either don't have sound or you're out of foghorns. I don't understand why you would refuse to collect this guy. He's great. I'm a huge soundless advocate, and I love the sound cards. So, no, I guess that says something about me. I don't know. I'm a hypocrite. But I love Sid. But you can tell just from this lag right here, someone's ran. It's very unlikely they just happen to DC. Sometimes people do just happen to disconnect right at this point, but it's very unlikely. Someone left and they did it poorly, and now we have 3 on our side. This VP itself actually went okay. We had 7 stay because it was Sid, so this one went fine, but 1 person left. So my next VP on Lois, as you can see, we start out with 8 toons. And going inside. Again, like always, no one declared that it was a shopping group because it's not a shopping group. There is a very rare time that it's okay and acceptable to shop in the full district, and that's when you're in there and you have the consent of all 7 other toons that you're shopping. And I've actually joined in on shopping groups before because they were the only group going, and I was like, yeah, sure, I'll shop with you guys. And in those cases, you end up meeting back in another district and you keep going until you get a good card. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with shopping when you're doing it with people who agree to shop. But when you're just going in with any random group that takes you or invites you, or you create the group and just take a bunch of random toons and you don't warn them and you shop on them, what you're doing is greening. It is 100% your fault that your team went sad. I don't see it as any different as going in with bike horns and purposely killing everyone, because you know what you're doing, you're aware of the consequences of your actions, and you do it anyway. And I can't think of a possible reason why you would even need to shop in the full district. Because there's shopping clans, there's dashing SOS shoppers, there's other clans that do random shopping. I know the Soundless Cult, we do SOS shopping on Saturdays, the first Saturday every month. My friends are often like, hey Kate, let's shop. I want Bessie's, I want more Clara's, come shop with me. It's not something that's impossible to do. All you have to do is gather up some friends and go shop. Or you can walk into the full district lobby and say, hey guys, I want to go shop. Anyone here want to shop with me? And most likely you'll get a group. And if all that fails, there's toonhq.org/groups where you can create a shopping group and find 7 other people who are on ToonHQ and who want to come shop with you. It's not difficult. Instead of greening people in the full district because you were too lazy to take one of these methods and go shop with actual people who want to shop, you're greening them. And it's ridiculous, and I have absolutely no sympathy for any of them. I hope Toontown Rewritten takes action against these people. I hope they do something. One of Disney's biggest mistakes when it came to the VP was allowing us to see what the reward would be ahead of time. Obviously, they fixed that with the CFO, and they got rid of the ability to see what you're going to get. That's because people were shopping, people were ditching, and it's rude. So if you've ever gotten upset that you didn't know what the Unite was before you finished out the CFO, it's because of this. It's because of shoppers. And as you can see in this VP right here, I'm in 1 person shopped. But only 1. It was a Mr. Freeze and only 1 person shopped. That particular VP, I went sad, not specifically because of shopping, but because of bad gameplay from my teammates. And so I went sad from that. But then in my next VP on Chloe, Chloe is my soundless Uber that's part of the set of 4 that Lois is in. She encountered a lot of shoppers. And so, as you can see, once again, it's a mix of suits, and there's also a mix of levels within the suits. So we had a good balanced VP to begin with. But as we see, someone asks, is anyone shopping? Should not ask that after you go inside. You should ask that first. But it looks like it's a Julius Weezer. And as you can see, of course the shoppers never declare that they're shopping because they're embarrassed that they're doing it. They don't want to call attention to themselves because they don't want you to remember their name. It's really frustrating. But here in just a second, you'll see that there were shoppers. There on the other side, you can see there were only 2 toons left because 2 of them shopped. Those 2 go sad pretty quickly. They either went sad or left. I don't know. I had my sound off, so I couldn't tell. But it ends up just being us 4, which it's so frustrating. That's usually how it ends up happening. You end up with just 4 on one side because see the entire other side left. And so we stick it out a bit. Here in a minute someone's got to call attention to the fact that we're all alone in there. And that's okay, I guess. But then they'll leave. And we kind of struggle through on this round, but if you look at the toons, there is no way that we're going to easily do a 4-man. It's going to end up taking a lot of SOS cards and a lot of pure luck, because even though I do have max lure, I do have max throw, max squirt, and it would be doable if I got sided with one of the little guys. It would be really frustrating. So after we finish off these cogs, I do end up leaving, which is not something I usually do. I'm actually really against just ditching a group, but I did warn them first, so I didn't just ditch without warning. But I didn't feel like going sad and losing all of my level 7s and taking down my team with me. Oh, we had 3 left, so yeah, I forgot. We had just the 3 of us, and I didn't want to have to solo a side, and I didn't want the 57 to have to solo a side. So I left. Now in this one, I am playing on Clark. He is obviously Lois's twin, because Lois and Clark. No one ever gets that. It's really annoying because they're so cute together. But it's a Sophie Squirt. She's just one of the worst. But everyone sticks through this first cog round. Everyone's still there. And as we go into the Skelecogs round, my side still has 4 toons. Apparently the other side did not have 4 toons. It had 2, and one of them went sad right here. And you can see he's commenting on the fact that they're going sad. And so I am completely oblivious to this. I didn't realize this was happening. You can see my little mouse going all around. I was training drop on Lois, and this poor guy's wedding cake missed, and so he went sad. And we ended up with just the 4 of us. And I honestly had no idea this had just happened. I should have been paying better attention, my bad. But we go into the pie fight, and the person standing next to me ditched. It's just ridiculous. I don't at all understand why you would leave at the start of a pie fight, especially when you haven't even gotten the chance to see your teammate's skill level. Most likely, if you're in the VP with an Uber, the Uber knows how to do the pie fight really well, and you're going to be fine. And usually there's at least one good person in every VP who knows how to do the pie fight. I obviously know how to do the pie fight. I've soloed it I don't know how many times, and it's not a problem for me. I end up coming back here and stunning in the back and just let them knock it back. And the pie fight goes pretty okay. At some point I have to tell one of the cats to go back up front, quit trying to tune me up and get a tune up himself, because I really need him knocking the VP back. But it goes okay. But again, this was a VP where at least 2 people died because of shoppers. And they waited until after the cog round to shop because they weren't paying attention to SOS before that. And I don't understand at all why you would do this at this point in the game. I mean, Toontown Rewritten just introduced the ability to delete SOS cards. It's no longer a chore to get rid of these terrible SOS cards from your deck. If you don't like that you have Sophie Squirt in your deck, it takes 2 clicks to click delete. Yes, delete. They're gone. If you're worried about wasting your time in a VP, need to remind you, you're playing a video game. You're not really wasting your time any more than you already are by doing a VP you don't need. what you're doing is wasting everyone else's time and greening people by ditching a full VP run. If you enter a VP in the full district, you need to finish it out. It's not that big a deal. It's going to take maybe 20 minutes of your time, and you'll likely have fun doing it. When you leave, you just kill people, and that's really rude. And it makes you no better than the greeners who go in there to kill people on purpose. So if you SOS shop in the full district with randoms, I encourage you to stop. And if you don't do that, great. I love you. You're awesome. And yeah, just remember Toontown is a game about fun and it's a game about teamwork. That's the whole point of this game. And greening people on purpose, by shopping, by passing until they die, anything like that. It's against the whole point of the game. And, we play this game to have fun, and it's hard to have fun when you're dying every 20 minutes because people are jerks. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. And yeah, so bye. Thanks for watching.